Recall the last call that we did, you're going to remember on how we like to do our capital raises. And this is what it looks like right here. New funding opportunity available, 2-part deals, 5 lots, manufactured home in Granbury. And then we break it down on how much we are raising. We go over the executive summary. We provide absolutely everything to our investors. The MLS data, historical data. We're not speculating on value, anything like that. We break it down. We tell them exactly what we are going to do. It's very articulated. They know exactly what we are doing. There's no guessing. Everything is listed. All the due diligence, all the tax records, everything is here. And then we always have 4 private money structures. We have option 1, which is a private money lender, just funds the whole thing. We are offering 3 points and 9% interest for 24 months for this deal. No equity share. This is just a straight debt deal for the investor. This is our projection on how long it would take and what the investor would make if they invested. We also always tell them when we do a flip, we do a 12-month term. When we do a land deal, we do 24 months because land could take a little bit longer to sell. We also always like to include the IRR, which is the internal rate of return. This is the annualized number that if you compare it with something else, this is what you would compare with. And then we always, if you've never heard of rule of 72, is you divide whatever return you are getting annualized by 72, and that will roughly give you how many years it will take you to double that. So usually you want to be doubling your investment every 5 years, which that should be, I want to say, about a 12% return. So if I divided 72 by 12%, 6 years actually. So a little bit more aggressive than that. Usually when, let's say you're doing a syndication or a multifamily, they'll structure a cash on cash 8% yearly, and then the exit would be within 5 years, and they try to do a multiple of at least 2x. So that's how you double your money in that 5 years. So by doing this, it kind of gives you an idea of an investor that he can compare if he's comparing to a different investment and kind of get an idea. Okay, so this one was first lien. Deferred points and interest due at balloon, very important. Sometimes we don't mind paying monthly. Sometimes strategically, especially when capital is cash flow management is tight, or we know that the deal is not going to cash flow for a little bit, or we might need additional time, we put that towards the end. It doesn't mean it goes away, and the investor understands that he's going to get paid, but he's just going to get paid at the end once the actual profit is generated. Okay, that's how we structure this. Sometimes, every investor is different. You got to find out what their goals are. Some of them live on the interest or on the income. That's their lifestyle. That's what funds it. So it's important for those folks to have a monthly payment every month. That is why we have structured our fund. We have a Reg D 3C5 fund, in which if you go to rawcapitalfund.com, you can see what our fund does, in which it's a lot of this that I'm showing you right now. We have what's called a 25-50-25 strategy, in which it's a real estate and a private capital hybrid fund is what I call it. It's for accredited investors only, but our investment classes is Class A and Class AA. In Class A, it's a standard. I wouldn't say standard because nothing that we do is standard, but our Class A, it's an equity share GP LP split. And then we designed the Class A with the income investor in mind. There's no equity split, but it's just an 11% preferred return paid quarterly. So they can rely and use this income. And then sometimes this one is more for a growth type of investment. So you get to compare it. And we built some really cool investment calculators that are really interactive at our fund that the investors can play with it and kind of get an idea side by side how much they would make, what the projections are. So if you ever want to check that out, feel free to go to rawcapitalfund.com and you can do so. But you can get familiar with everything. Our minimum investment is only $25,000. This is a $25 million raise that we are doing, and we do exactly what we are showing on this case study here as a case study, as a deployment tactic to investors. But anyway, the other options for private money that we do is we have two investors fund everything that we need in half. We offer the same return, 3 points and 9% interest. Or we have three investors split it in three. They all share undivided interest on a first lien, so nobody's on a second lien position when we do that. And then we kind of go over the rest of the deal too, and we mention at the bottom the other two lots, what we're going to do with it. So we send that out on, was it February 10th? Yeah, it should have been February 10th, because we were waiting to make sure that before we got a commitment to get this funded, we were going to get title cleared and able to close, because we didn't want to go through the capital raising process, and it takes time to get everything done and do the paperwork and the loan and everything, and then the deal not clear closing. So we got through it. That's why we waited a little bit, but we got through it and we sent it out. So whenever we have a new deal in the contract, a new funding opportunity, emails go out. Or if you are an investor in our fund, we send an email newsletter every month on what we've bought, what we've funded, the loans we did, because we have a hard money lending company. So all that is provided to you. So whenever you send an email for a deal to be funded, you want to include everything, how I was talking about, what we are buying, when we are buying, what is our plan, what we like about the deal, third-party reports. If you are presenting something to an investor, you want to cover all their objections within the sales presentation. If they're asking questions over and over again, it is your job to address that every time. Don't wait for them to ask you, so you cover that. Make sure your email reflects that, especially if it keeps repeating itself. Then address it right away, and people will be confident in you. Like I was explaining, in all of our deals, we do that structure. Now let's go over the private money options email, in which that's what we were talking about. All those. We have our spreadsheet, our system that calculates everything for you. I'm working on some tools to make this available for you. We have a website which is under construction now, so don't go in there just yet.